Well, as my friend emphasised last night in a group chat we had, it's not going to solve all the world's problems, is it? There's a fundamental issue that, is it the case that when countries get to a point, when cultures get to a point where all the wealth is concentrated such that, well, you've got a mass of poor people by comparison, and they're in the vast majority, whether it's impoverished, starving Chinese, or whether it's, hobos and people living in the, what's it called, trailer parks at a very low standard of living compared to your guys driving around in the supercars. That imbalance is not stable. You've got to, for stability, you've got to bless the poor, quite simply. We've done it for the last, 50 years or so. We've done it with consumer goods, and, we've dumped fast food and cheap holidays and what we call sort of middle-class living on the poor. And it's stabilised the system quite a bit. But if you stop doing this, and you even have a society where even the rich, the powerful, keep dropping out, it's so unstable, it's so unsafe. These world leaders, they're not paranoid in thinking that everyone's out to kill them. They're absolutely realistic. It's dangerous being too wealthy because, yes, you could say self-interest and greed of the poor, but that's the way it is. It's much better to be seen as a wonderful benefactor. And you can kid them along with propaganda that you are the great benefactor for a while. But if they really start to get down to what they see as desperate, perhaps in China it's not desperate yet, they just lay flat. But once you start to get rioting in the streets, that takes no amount of resources to keep things in order. And you have to flee. In fact, you have to flee into the arms of your enemy. It's the only place left. Unless we have some sort of useful pothole to jump into like Argentina at the end of the Second World War. Well, we think that's the case. I'm not certain about it. But anyway, that's what the rumour is. Well, fortunately, the wealthy are incredibly risk-averse. And it becomes in their interest to scatter some of the goodies that they're enjoying on the population to keep things at some stable ebb. And anyway, who wants to step over starving and rotting bodies in the street, when you go to buy your restaurant meal? Thank you, Heavenly Dad. You see, you may hold them in contempt, but people like Rockefeller, Carnegie, what'd they do when they knew they were the richest? Started buying charisma. started buying a good reputation, lavished their cash on all sorts of, well, in a sense, public works. Museums and foundations and libraries and if your wealth is power more than cash, well, you do the same. You make steps to protect the poor. Try and find them housing. Oh, you mean they need to live in houses? Yes. Well, something anyway. Not in the street, not in their car. Well, no, because even the car takes costs to keep on the road. You've got to keep it, legal, or it's taken off the road and you have nowhere to sleep. You're now under a hedge or in the Salvation Army doorway. I mean, not for long, of course. I don't know how long you survive a Chicago winter. Or, I don't know, what's Beijing like in winter? Does it get cold? Life expectancy of someone on the streets in England? It's not very good, you know. You don't live to a ripe old age. No. I tell you, the epitome of self-interest is kindness and charity and care of other people. Why? Because that's what actually maximizes your safety and prosperity and long life. Well, the long life's not so important, actually. If you think you've got two homes and the other one's heaven. But if you're lost in secular delusion and ignorance, well, it's a frightening world to be in. And you do your best to find a way out, improve it. Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.